You're listening to the A3K Network on Anime3000.com. Warning. The views and opinions expressed by this producer are not necessarily the views and opinions expressed by Anime 3000, its producers, partners, or affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to a brand new episode of the A3K Podcast, the official podcast of the A3K Network. I'm your host, Sean Russell, executive producer and founder of Anime3000.com. Joining us as usual, we have JD Banks from the Manga Corner and Cody Baier from the other side. On today's episode, JD Banks explains why you're a punk for watching Detroit Metal City. Listeners submit more anime suggestions than our show can handle, and Cody and Sean share platonic hugs and bro fists over bad puns, Shinichiro Watanabe, and other anime goodness. All this and more on the A3K Podcast. All right, and welcome back to the A3K Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Russell, and of course we're joined by JD Banks of the Manga Corner and Cody Baier from the other side. How are you doing, guys?
Great.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it, into our "What You Been ... section of the podcast, and we're gonna start with JD this time, so you will not be interrupted. JD, you have free reign to tell us what you've been ... dotting.
Well, I've actually been reading, and it's kind of an old manga, the Detroit Metal City.
Yes! Yeah. That totally makes up for what you said before we...
Krauser.
Yeah, I thought, okay, for people who've never read DMC or Detroit Metal City, it's actually a kind of death metal kind of manga, but it's not like what you think. You don't think it's like, oh my god, it's just going to be all about death metal. No, it's actually about this really funny main character who is not really into death metal, but he's the leader of it, and he kind of switches into his weird personality change as Krauser. So I really actually love this manga, and then I'm gonna go to the next volume reading it, and I watched the first episode of the manga of the anime, so it was really awesome. So yeah, I really would recommend this.
It is one of the funniest goddamn things Japan has ever produced. Holy shit. Watch the movie. The movie kind of gets stupid at the end, but it has Gene Simmons in it.
Did they have to do an ace?
No, they didn't have to do an ace.
That's an inside joke from our last podcast. We're not going to explain it. It's an inside joke.
Yeah, I actually, my husband and I, we called this manga the Granudo manga, because it's really for Granudos too. Like if you guys know what a Granudo is.
Don't know what that is. Sounds like granola. I don't think the granola manga.
Sounds like Menudo and grenade mixed together.
You throw a grenade and it explodes, and Menudo just appears out of the explosion.
Ricky Martin goes, yeah, inside out. Sorry.
Oh god.
No. It's basically it's a Spanish word, of course, but it's for like a super punk, don't care kind of person. They're kind of, I guess a punk is probably the best way to put it. But they're kind of like, they have their own like little clique thing going on, you know, and it's but I would say punk, and they like different, like, you know, any kind of metal really, or punk music, and then they're gonna be the ones that go off into the underground to go to, you know, have a concert in the sewer or something. Those kind of people. So they would love DMC.
Those infamous sewer concerts. I hate those.
I love those, man. I saw Kiss underneath the New York pipeline. They rocked so hard. They caused someone's septic tank to start leaking on us. But it was cool because we were having fun. But there was a smell.
Did they play with Rat?
Sean Russell, I love you. That pun was beautiful. Normally I hate puns, but that was just so perfect and clever that I feel like I gotta go down to Florida and give you a platonic heterosexual man hug.
I'm not going to say anything because...
I don't think there's a platonic one like that for men, between men.
Hey, that's sexist. What, guys can't hug?
Yeah, come on, JD.
JD, you make.
I thought we've evolved past that. It's 2014.
2 episodes in a row. You are just you. I'm sorry, JD. This isn't the 50s anymore. Okay.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
What's the opposite of misogynist? Jeez.
Sandris.
I think it's cool when you're, father and son, or if you're like cousins or something like that.
Or Birdman and Lil Wayne.
Well, if they're adopted, or whatever.
Yeah, adopted. Kiss each other on the lips. That's
okay. What if a soldier is in the battlefield and he is just mangled, and then another soldier comes and saves his life, and then visits him in the hospital after to see how he's doing? Is the soldier that was rescued not allowed to hug his savior? Can he not hug that other man?
Brofist.
Yeah. Brofist, he still has his
hands. You make me sick.
So what else you've been doing, JD?
Well, in the manga world and anime world, not too much except that. But I am working on. I did finish doing the last episode of the Manga Corner, so that should be coming out in April, I believe. So that's something to look out for.
Sweet. And Cody Baier.
Yay! I haven't been watching any anime because I've been working. I especially on Cloud Scratcher. I'm overworked. I do watch Space Dandy, which I do, before every recording. And this week's episode was particularly good. All you folks who already saw it know what I'm talking about. And nothing. I get nothing. I'm overworked.
You're overworked and underappreciated, huh, Cody?
Yeah.
That's the story of everyone's life.
I'm trying,
especially if you're a millennial.
I'm trying to get this book out. Damn it! I gotta get this book out, and I'm way behind, and I've been watching a lot of riff tracks. I've been playing them while I work, but that's about it. That's all. That's pretty much all I've watched is riff tracks, the occasional TV show.
Well, luckily for you, I've watched enough for 2 hosts on this podcast.
Oh, right.
And it starts with a show that you might be familiar with.
Oh.
And that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Joe!
I finally watched it.
Yes.
And
yes.
let me tell you something. It probably was the most disappointing thing I've watched.
I'm saying, what? What?
In years. And let me tell you why. The hype did not match what I actually watched. Was it entertaining? Yes. Would I have continued watching it if it didn't have all this hype? Probably not. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock and do know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, from what I've seen, like I know you did like a 14-episode series on it, Cody, on the other side. I know we talked about it last podcast, but the actual story, it's from me, the person who's only seen 4 episodes of the series. There's this guy named Jonathan Joestar. There you go, Jonathan Joestar. Jonathan Joestar?
Yes.
Okay, and they goes by JoJo. He grows up, he's this prissy little boy who, there's this one scene that's actually kind of funny where he goes to fight these bullies who's picking on this girl, and he's like punching him in the stomach, like, stop, and they're like kicking his ass and everything. But anyways, he pretty much grows up privileged, and he's living this life, and everything's hunky dory. On the opposite end of town or this village or wherever they're living, it's like the late 1800s, the time period this is taking place. Sorry?
And in England.
Yeah, and in England. So, actually, the episode starts off with the father of the antagonist of the series finding the father of the protagonist, Jonathan Joestar. And he's a shyster, the father of Dio Brando. Who I was a little disappointed in Dio Brando after all the hype around him. I was hoping he would have been cooler.
You're going to talk, and then I'm going to explain to you why you're wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. So the father of Jonathan tells pretty much feels like he's indebted to him because he comes to from after being like hijacked or whatever from his carriage, and the father of Dio is actually robbing him, but he doesn't know that. So later on, flash forward, the father of Dio is dying, and Dio's just resentful because the father's evil and drunk and this, that, and the other. Skip forward, long story short, I can sit there and tell you the whole episode, but Dio is a dick, and he's pretty much set up to be the rival of JoJo. JoJo's good, Dio's bad. Dio's this cool person who's strong. No one knows he's bad. Jonathan Joestar is the good guy. They come to blows, and then eventually the episodes go by so fast. It's like by the second episode, they're like 15 years in the future or whatever, and then it kind of jumps into the main story where you meet these different characters and you kind of see where it's going. Now, the reason I was kind of disappointed was because I'm comparing it to other series that I'm putting it head to head with Hunter x Hunter, because you really struck a nerve with me last week. And I'm like, okay, this thing better be awesome.
Is that why you're disappointed? Because you came in like...
I'm disappointed because it's not as good as Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Everything you say, you just misled the people. I'm going to tell you why. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, first of all, is several long stories. Basically multiple series all within one timeline. The anime depicts parts 1 and 2. Part 1, Phantom Blood. Part 2, Battle Tendency. Part 1, first of all, not only it starts the way you describe. What I can only describe the rest of it as is it becomes Dracula. You already saw a taste of JoJo.
You see, I saw when Dio became, when he put the mask on and he received the powers and REO Speedwagon. I'm just kidding, just Speedwagon.
No, it is Robert E.O. Speedwagon. They're all.
Oh, that's hilarious. And I've saw all of that. I'm up to the point. I think I've finished episode 4. I'm going to continue watching the show because I'm unlike you. I know that there has to be something behind this series for everyone to be raving about it. And so I'm going to continue watching it. I know it's not, my first impression is based on the 3 episodes I watched. The 4th episode, initially I wanted to come into this podcast and kind of really rip it, but I watched the 4th episode and I kind of saw where it was going, and it had a lot of potential. With that other guy that came in and he was showing the ripple power and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, this could be pretty cool. But at the same time, it's like, that's what I wish you would have done with Hunter x Hunter. I wish you wouldn't have written it off so quickly and jumped and looked for spoilers.
I'm going to watch more. It's just that I need the time and motivation. But
what would be fun? What would be fun? And I'm gonna jump from JoJo because I know JD's probably left the conversation.
Before we jump from JoJo, I still have to tell the people why you were wrong a bit, because it's. What you are seeing is part 1. The anime covers part 1 and 2, and the reason that you kept thinking the name Joseph Joestar, that is the protagonist of part 2, because each part has a completely different protagonist instead of main characters, but characters from old ones may come back. The reason Dio is as hyped as he is, first of all, you saw a taste. I mean, the man is so seminal in Japanese consciousness. You saw when he stepped out of that wagon, like the screen went red, and it was like, oh! Just an evil note. Like, he's so evil. When he walks in, just evil choirs play. Because this is JoJo, and you will see, because it gets more and more, because in part 1, it is basically finding its identity. And that is the insanity and over-the-top craziness that is JoJo. But even so, like, again, it's also finding its identity in its storytelling, because part 1 is very simplistic, even though it does kind of change up a bit. And as the parts go, part 3, which is the anime that's coming up, is the part that made JoJo famous. And it was the one that the Capcom fighting games based on, where stands come from. It's also the part where Dio became famous because he comes back in part 3. And again, you will see this, especially part 2, because part 2, the protagonist, Joseph Joestar, I contend, is the greatest shonen protagonist of all time.
Okay. All right. Let me jump from this, because I promise you, everybody, hopefully you're a fan of JoJo and Hunter x Hunter. It's going to come up every episode. It just is. That's just a fact of life. There's birds in the sky. There's fish in the water. We're going to talk about JoJo and Hunter every single episode. So let's skip from that. And my second thing I watched, because there was also a lot of hype around this show. I hear it comes up in my Twitter stream every single week, if not every single day. Kuroko's Basketball. Have any of you ever seen this show or read the manga?
No, I have no interest in sports manga.
What about you, JD?
I love sports manga. Actually, because of my students, they always, whenever I have like a writing assignment, they always put Kuroko's basketball, or basket, they said, but basketball. Yeah. So I read the first chapter. I haven't gotten around to reading the rest of it, but it looks really interesting. And I feel like, other basketball manga that are really famous, like Slam Dunk, I think this one's really cool too. It's coming up to that level. So I think that if anybody likes, sports manga, maybe you're not a real nerd, but then this is a really good manga to start with. So
yeah, this anime is currently playing on Crunchyroll. It's in its second season, and what I like about it is I'm a huge fan of sports anime. There's rarely one that I would see that I don't like, and because it's every episode there's built-in drama. It's character based. It has to be, or else you're actually watching sports. And who wants to do that? I mean, if I was watching sports, I would be watching anime. I could be watching sports every day and saying, "Hey, go Heat!"
Or doing sports. How about that?
We're not even talking about that.
You have to go outside for that.
Gosh,
sorry, I'm an athlete, so
you just ruined this whole segment.
Yeah.
I'm skipping this one.
You have to go
Gosh.
sorry, one of the cool nerds,
One of the cool nerds that actually does sports. Ugh, sweat. Ugh.
Well, Sean, I know you do too. Like, maybe not like a team sport, but I'm pretty sure you work out in the gym or something, right?
Solitaire.
So see, me and Sean, we understand that part. I don't know about Cody, but like,
I just weightlift and do the exercises my army friend taught me, because they're surprisingly easy in that you don't need stuff, but surprisingly hard in that I have never felt more excruciating pain holding a pose for 60 seconds.
Nice.
Whoever developed those exercises is a machine. Like, it's just the simple, okay, now just get in this pose and lean and just hold that. Oh, that's simple enough. Oh my God, no!
Sounds like Pilates.
Your monies are for.
Well, going back to Kuroko's Basketball, what I like about this I'm about to say manga. See what you're doing to me, JD? Gosh,
reading, it's good for you.
I have to purge that from my system. Anime. Okay. What I like about it is the main character, Kuroko. He is invisible to most people, and that's his like special ability. The coach, who's this girl, I think she's like the same year as the basketball players. She has the ability just to look at somebody's physique and know what their strengths are. So she's looking at all of the players and saying, "Oh, he's above average, he's weak, this, that, and the other." And he's like, "Where's this Kuroko? He plays for this team, this magical team that won all the championships last year. He's supposed to be here." And he's like, "Hello, I'm right here." She goes, "Ah!" So that's like a running gag in the whole series where he's always just popping up and people are like, "Were you here the whole time?" But that also is his strength, why he's so amazing, because he's not like the best player, but because people don't notice him, he can pass the ball to the star players. So that's that running gag. There's a lot of comedy in it. If you're like sports anime, everything you like about sports anime, this has, but it has this nice flow where you feel like you could just marathon through it. So I'm watching that right now. I'm loving that series from episode 1. It's from Production IG, who, if you don't know who they are, they're responsible for the Blood franchise, Eden of the East, Prince of Tennis, which is sort of related to sports, and I know, Cody, you like Psycho Pass. So they're
so you're not even going to name the fact they did Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, one greatest anime ever made.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, Sean,
that's too obvious.
You made me physically ill. I'm going to go barf. While you go and tell them about your mangas, I'm going to go barf.
All right. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Season 2, though. That second one was the best.
Oh, of course. Yes, you are exactly right.
Oh, I am right? Okay, yes. I was joking. All right, anyways, then the final thing that I watched, and I just watched because I heard this a few times mentioned, and I wanted to see if it was any good, is Golden Time. Anyone familiar with that?
The only Golden Time I've ever heard of, I think Max Vader mentioned it, and it's a hentai.
Well, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is a hentai. So far, it doesn't look like it's a hentai. But then again, there's a lot of anime that are adapted from hentai, or visual novels that have hentai-ish aspects to them. This one is from the creator of Toradora, Yuyuko Takemiya. It's from JC Staff. They done Azumanga Daioh, Honey and Clover, Utena. And it's currently on Crunchyroll and licensed by Sentai Filmworks. It's about this crazy girl who's obsessed with this boy, and he goes to he's not even the main character. The boy's not the main character. He goes to a law school, and he hopes to escape from her, and she ends up being there. But the main character, is just kind of befriending everybody. And I think the second episode, which I only watched the first, the second episode really explains the premise of the show. So I haven't gotten to that yet. So I'll continue to check it out. It was good enough for me to, continue watching it. It's not like Kuroko where I was like, oh, I'm going to watch 100 episodes of this. No, it's just, this is good. I'm not going to kick it out of bed. But, yeah, that's what I've been doing. And the website, Anime 3000, it should be fixed by the time you're listening to this, but I'm dealing with issues. We just went over to WordPress, and apparently WordPress doesn't work well if you use 1,000 plugins, which I'm still used to Joomla, which is a little bit more robust in that aspect. So we were kind of said, hey, we're going to have to block your website until you can figure this crap out. So I'm dealing with that.
Oh, I'm so sad.
So I'm dealing with that right now.
I'm getting bitched at by other side fans. They're like, where's my episode, goddammit?
Hey, that's the other side of podcasting. Things don't always work on the technical end.
I rescind my platonic bro hug.
As I was doing the podcast last week, I said, you know what I want? I want a break. I want a break in this podcast because I haven't done a break in a podcast since forever. So we're going to go do a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our second segment, which is our questions of the week. We threw out a few questions, and we got a few answers. So we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, JJ Piedra here, and I'm inviting you to check out Pulse In Radio. If you're into video games, technology, anime, or anything geek culture, Pulse In Radio has you covered. You can visit us at pulseinradio.com, follow us on Twitter at PulseIn, or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PulseInRadio. Be sure to check us out, and Godspeed.
All right, welcome back, and we have our question of the week segment, and we asked a few questions. And the first one that we asked, we have, what is everyone excited about for the new season of anime? This is kind of a follow-up to the last segment we did on the previous podcast, where we kind of briefly touched. We did a pre-preview of the new season. So here's what a few people had to say. I'll try to say it in their voices because you can pick up voices on Twitter. That's the new feature on TweetDeck. You guys have that?
I do, but everyone just sounds like Microsoft Sam and my mother.
And how about you, JD?
I have no real technological stuff. Being here in Japan is kind of strange.
Yeah, Japan's aren't they the originator of creepy technology?
Didn't you invent the internet and computers?
No, actually, it's some random guy that did the internet, and he wasn't Japanese. But no, I don't even have a smartphone. I have this weird sliding phone thing that's not even cool. It comes in a cool color though. Cool color. Great.
I'm a struggling artist, and I have more tech than you.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to buy a house, so.
Ooh, house slam! All right, the first show is Mekaku City Actors and Soul Eater Not, and that's from @Inuyasha Takane.
Girl, it's a girl. I bet she's a girl.
Anyone know what Mekaku City Actors? What that is?
Isn't that the one about? I think it's about idols or something. It's a new show from this season. It's probably terrible.
Well, Soul Eater or not, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it in the title, Soul Eater not.
Have fun with that.
Like, you're not going to watch it. No, I'm kidding. Soul Eater not from at Basu Kurikori.
You know, if you want to make fun of anything, just let me do it. I'm the abrasive one that everybody hates. I'll take bullets.
So Soul Eater. So it seems like Soul Eater so far has the most votes. Stardust Crusade.
Soul Eater does not have the most votes. In fact, if you look at these, there's a certain series that seems to be the most hyped. I won't say what it is, but all is right with the world.
Oh, well, so far I see 2. And JoJo. Well, yeah, JoJo, the new.
By the way, Stardust Crusaders is JoJo. A couple of people refer to it that.
Oh, really?
That's the name of Part 3, which the new anime is adapting. That is the part, again, that made JoJo famous.
Oh, well, excuse me. I see that on here a lot, too. So I guess that means JoJo is the most hyped.
That's right, people.
Well, excuse me. And that's at 0 Julius 0. The next one is, haven't really checked it out, but I heard there's going to be some great sports anime.
Ping pong, people! Get hyped!
Ping pong.
Isn't there a sumo one, too, that's coming out?
Yeah, that was we actually said on the season overview. That's actually kind of interesting, just because it's different. Like, the protagonist isn't like spiky black haired everyman. Insert yourself into the character guy. It's a fat sumo dude, and he's kind of lethargic or whatever. I forget what it's about him. But
he's a lazy sumo.
Or
that's interesting.
I don't remember or maybe it was that it was worded weird. The way that the little blurb was, I think it was a little too directly translated. So, or it might have been. I could be remembering wrong. Either way, it's interesting in that it's different.
So we have definitely JoJo.
Hey,
that last one was at Lala So Raw. Interesting. Okay, so next we have definitely JoJo. Also, would like to check out Haikyuu. Haikyuu
and Mangaka Assistant. That was the one we talked about. We actually took some time to. Sorry, Lala. We took not Lala. You were the last one. This one's Sniper King now. Sorry, Sniper King.
I mean that's Colton, my new co-host for Manga Corner.
Well, I'm sorry, Colton. I mean, we talked about this. So you'll hear us, have everything we have to say about it when the other side episode comes out. But it's like, it seems like, it's an anime about making manga. It's like Bakuman, but it's, I guess, more professional and less from the ground up. Okay, it's a fucking romance harem show. God damn it! And you just kind of turn away, and all your excitement dies, and you just go cry somewhere because that's all anime is these days.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I was gonna read it, and then I was like, look, I keep hearing about this. Translated, it's the manga creator and his assistants or whatever. And I was like looking at it, I'm like, okay, I see the picture. Okay, now it looks like the Hina, Love Hina. No, I hated Love Hina. So it's like
I just want to chime in real quick. There's some weird kind of trend with this season and like last season. There's this weird, like, an anime will have this premise that seems, okay, whatever, but then it won't even mention it sometimes. It'll just, like, sneak up on you. Oh, by the way, it's ecchi harem, or it's romance harem, or ecchi romance. Like, you seem normal, and then you threw loser show at me. What the hell? Like, you just...
They usually sneak that in the last 2 minutes of the episode. It's like the villain, the antagonist, once the antagonist, like, comes back and... is still at the end of the episode, and then you watch the end credits, and then you see them, plus like 5 other characters you didn't see. That's usually a telltale sign that this is going to be a harem.
It's like these days, the you see like, there's a new anime coming out. It's like the story of a renegade mercenary in the jungles of Vietnam trying to hunt down the man who killed his partner. Ecchi harem romance. What the fuck?
Well, it's just like
this.
It's just some kind of man's or even women's fantasy, So just be surrounded by men or be surrounded by women, It's just a fantasy, and now they can sell it.
You don't make good entertainment out of just emulating someone's fantasy. Did we learn nothing from Twilight?
It's called porn, dude, okay?
It's different because it's not trying to be actual entertainment. It's just something you whack off to and then you're done. It's a masturbation aid. It's not a TV show to be consumed or a movie to be consumed. There has never been a case where fancy wish...
Consumed means to buy, right?
Yes.
Okay, then it is consumable.
There
More
is
ways than one. Okay.
Stop. Super.
Hey-o.
What I mean.
I'm sorry, Sean.
There's an instance where wish fulfillment turned out to be a good thing, or turned out to be, even like times where you can say, "Oh, well, what about this?" It was usually like something like Tenchi, where this guy created something and he had a good idea here, but it's like, okay, no, this sucks. So this other guy comes in and is like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take your characters here. I'm gonna take out this stupid shit. Let me just weed out the stupid shit, and then just kind of run with what you had that worked. So someone else had to come in and fix it. Whenever you have this, oh, we're going to do a story about a guy and he's in a dormitory, but he's surrounded by women. They all want to fuck him, and one's a lowly, and one's got giant tits, and one's the housewife he's going to pick. It's never a good time. Never a good time. Unless you're really sad, because then you need it. You need it in your life. But if you're not sad, then it's never a good time. And it keeps happening. It's like, get your harems out of my interesting premises.
Hey, there's enough good anime to go around. You mean, some people want their harems, some people want their JoJos, and some people want the English dub for Attack on Titan, and that is actually the request of our next person, who wants JoJo's Stardust Crusader and then the English dub for Attack on Titan. That's at p.alex, who's a big fan of the other side.
He is one of the guys from Project After as well.
So the next one is... you go ahead and read that one, someone who can read that.
Okay. Abalimbo Kishi looks like fun. Like always, there are just a handful with some promise. I need some JoJo's in my life because you're a smart person, friend. Where's the domestic DVD? Ken Jr.
Where is the domestic DVD?
I don't know. I was looking for the fabled domestic DVD. I heard tales, I heard legends of it. So me and an expedition party, we went out into the jungles of Africa to find the legendary domestic DVD. We found a temple where we had heard it was located. We found many etchings on the wall that indicated that the domestic DVD was located at this temple. But sadly, we could not pass by the Balrog that guarded the final chamber. I have to actually assemble a better party. I'm thinking of maybe getting some elves and some dwarves and really old guy with a stick. And we're going to take on that Balrog and we'll get that domestic DVD, so I'll update you. I'll update you next week.
All right, hear that, Ken Jr.? We'll update you. And the next one, JD, you want to read that one?
Yeah, I can read that. The next one is, let's see. Oh, me, the voice for this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Really only hyped for Break Blade and hoping they animate all the action scenes that the original OVA skipped. Daniel Wilson.
That guy's got a high-pitched voice.
Really? Oh my gosh. So should I go higher then?
No. He was saying your voice is high-pitched and you sound like Daniel Wilson, the guy with the high-pitched voice.
Oh, really? I don't know who this is, so...
Daniel Wilson sounds like this. Really only hyped for Break Blade.
So you should have
I don't know Daniel.
Snagglepuss?
Oh, indubitably. Exit stage and left.
Can I read the next two because they're the same thing?
Sure, have at it. It also happens to be his favorite anime series.
Sword Art Online 2. Because that's the only way I can read that. Sword Art Online 2.
Or you can use a different voice.
Well,
Sword and Art
it's
Online 2. It's like that.
Case, and Sword Art has an N in there that doesn't go there. So it's Sword Art Online 2.
I hope that wasn't like my error. Because I'd feel really bad.
My favorite character is Kirito. He is the cool swordsman.
Man, you sound constipated, dude.
Kind of like that rare bone disease from South Park, but instead of not being able to say the T in planetarium, he just keeps putting N's where they don't belong. He's doing the spine evening. There was already an N there. You didn't need to do that. Didn't need to do one nut.
And then the final one is Black Bullet. I want to watch it so badly.
Real Russia, obviously he would have a Russian accent.
Oh, I'm sorry. Black Bullet. I want to watch it badly. So badly. I am from Russia. Mother Russia. Chechnya.
I like Black Bullet because it reminds me of my home country where they shoot a lot of those.
In Russia, we don't shoot black bullets. Black bullets shoot us.
Yakov Smirnov immediately comes in and beats the shit out of Sean Russell.
Yes.
That's my bit, you bastard!
In Russia, we do not have... I'm sorry. All right, so the next question...
Just lost our entire Russian demographic.
Yes, all 20 of them. If you had an opportunity to create an original series with any established mangaka, who would you pick? And before I give the answers, let's hear what you guys would pick. Who you guys would pick, since especially you, manga. I was going to call you Manga, JD. That's your new name, Manga. What are you going to pick, Manga?
Actually, I would pick the creator of Yamada and the Seven Witches. Same style, almost a similar style as the same creator of the creator of One Piece and a creator of Fairy Tail, but they're really funny, and they like to deal with magic and things like that, and different things that affects, like, you know, high school students and stuff like that. I would want to work with them because I love their style. So, yeah.
Nice. What about you? Joseph Joestar?
You have no idea how much you complimented me. I have two choices. I would either go with Eiichiro Oda because I feel like our storytelling styles would match as well as our character design philosophies. And at the same time, I could also help rein him in with that whole I don't want to kill anybody things. Like, no, Oda, kill him. They have to die, Oda. There's no reason to keep them alive. People are just going to get pissed if they walk out of that alive. Don't do it, Oda. Don't do it, Oda. Kill them. But if not Oda, then it would be Kentaro Miura, author of the fabulous Berserk, because he is kind of the greatest artist alive right now. The dude that does One Punch Man is very close. It's so close. It's right there, nipping at his heels. But Kentaro Miura is just number one. So the opportunity to write a story and then have it drawn by the greatest artist alive today kind of gives me a boner just thinking about it. I kind of want that to happen. Just the fact that I brought it up makes me depressed now because I know that that's fantasy. It's not going to happen. I'm been knocked back down to the reality, and now I'm going to go listen to Linkin Park and mope. I got to look in my shoes. I can't even look up. I'm navel gazing right now.
You sound like a lot of anime fans once they realize that the anime they watch is never going to happen in real life.
This happened to me.
Well, we have a couple of responses to this. I'll do the first one. And this is from Alex Valentine. I'd get Tatsukio Takimoto and Kenjo Hanasawa.
Kengo.
Oh, there you go. Kengo Hanasawa. Whichever hasn't killed themselves yet. Damn. To help me with the story. And I'd get Motoi Fuyukawa.
Mark
to draw it for me. And now from Alex Valentine. Would any of you like to elaborate on who these individuals are?
Don't know.
No, I might know who they are, but I'm not really good with names. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at names. Even in English, Japanese, it could be in Farsi. It doesn't matter. I'm really bad at names. So let me look it up. I'll get back to you. Okay.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows who Tashiyuko Takimoto is. Nobody
knows what you just said.
Because I had too much words in my voice.
Let's go to the next one while JD's doing research to figure out who these 17 people are. And I know Cody knows who the next person is, and I know who they are because they have the names next to who they are.
I know who they are.
Very helpful.
I know
but
who they are anyway.
Of course, everyone knows who the first one is. The second one, not everyone might not know they do this show, but they know that show.
Well, if they don't know, they're not cool people.
I guess
like
they do school points. I just read the thing already.
I'm going to read it, but I'm going to warn you now. If I'm reading your tweets in this podcast at any point or in future episodes, it will not be in a flattering voice, so deal with it. I'm thinking either Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball, and Hiromi Arakawa, Full Metal Alchemist. I'd lean towards Toriyama because that's the first unique art style I latched onto. Ken Jr.
And then everyone in the comment section. And that's why no one sends in questions or comments. Because you make fun of everybody.
Hey, if you can't take questions or comments being read in a funny voice, then that is indicative of problems that we at the A3K Podcast just can't help you with. You need to hire someone for that.
Yes. And Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama. He might be actually a good choice because I don't know why he's a good choice.
He has a fantastic art style that is very unique, and as an artist, there's a lot of things that I look at and like, yes, you're very good at that. Except for the fact that most of his human characters look the same. Like, he is one of the best ever at designing monsters and creatures and aliens and inhuman characters. Probably why he's been doing Dragon Quest as long as he has. But you ask him to draw people, he's got like 5.
He has Yamcha and Krillin and...
But he's really famous in Japan because his style is very unique, and so that Japan's really land of the same. Everything has to be the same. So because his is so unique, like if you saw his work, this is the guy who created Dragon Ball. Then that's why he's so famous because he's unique.
You'd think that would inspire more artists to try to be unique, but I don't know why I do that.
It's really hard in Japan to break out of the traditional or what's been selling. So I guess that's one reason why a lot of the anime and stuff is the same right now. So
it's recession, dear boys and girls. Recessions hurt. They hurt lots of things. You don't even realize they're hurting, like quality of television.
Well, television just sucks anyway, so...
Watch your mouth.
Well, you know what? If we're still living in America, we were going through a television renaissance right now.
Oh my gosh. The Good Wife is so amazing.
And freaking we got the Breaking Bads, we got the Justifieds and the Wives.
Okay, there's a few good shows, but the shit on the stick is a lot.
I haven't seen it yet, but I hear things about True Detective. Okay.
Oh.
Now, granted, again, there's a lot of bad shows, but that's every medium. That's Sturgeon's Law in effect. So you got to wonder you got to look at the innate quality of that 10% in any medium in order to judge what state is that medium in. Is the 10% good television? Is it just okay? Is it dealable, or is it great? And right now, we're in great times. We're in great times.
Sons of Anarchy.
Rolling around in a big bathtub of blue meth going, I love TV. TV's great.
Oh, and a follow-up on the last one, the Tachiko Takimoto, and I know all of
Oh, yeah, I just found it too. So, Tatsuhiko Takimoto is the creator of Welcome to the NHK, which is very famous in Japan. So he wrote that. He's not really so much an illustrator, but Kengo Hanazawa, not Sawa, but Zawa with a Z. Actually, I knew where he's from, but he's the creator of I Am a Hero, and it's not really licensed yet in the United States, but it's a zombie manga, actually, and it's really awesome, actually.
No more zombies!
This one is really neat, though. I feel that if you read it, it's kind of funny in a way, but this is like my really, like I really hate zombies. I hate them with a passion.
I can't tell you there.
But I Am a Hero, I think, is a good manga, actually. So when it gets licensed, you should definitely read it.
Is that what I Am Legend is based off of?
No, because this came out later. So
no, see, that's what you call a Sean Russell joke. It's a special kind of joke that is not only bad, but so bad you want to punch him, but you can't punch him because you like him. So it causes this like kind of conflict in your brain that causes like parts of your lobes to twist and then pop.
You know what's funny about that joke? It actually wasn't a joke. I was serious.
Yeah, I can tell that, Cody. I mean, come on now.
Damn it, Sean Russell. I tried to give you something.
No. If I mess up, I'll take it on a joke.
I honestly thought that was a bad joke.
No. If it was a bad joke, you wouldn't hear me breathe afterwards because I'm waiting for no laughter.
awkward silence afterwards.
Yeah, I live. That's my applause. See, awkward silence.
Most people, when they tell a joke, they pause for laughter. Sean Russell pauses for silent contempt.
Yes, that's the funniest thing in the world to me is a bad joke that is delivered to elicit a response that can only come from doing a bad joke. Like, if you laugh at a bad joke, you fail.
See, Sean, much like myself, Sean Russell feeds on your hate. He just goes about it a different way.
I just let other people do it.
He goes about inciting that hate in a different method than I do.
Yes, I'm an instigator. That's what they call it. Yeah, an instigator.
But you know, Sean, when you make those weird puns or transitions or try to be funny kind of thing, your voice kind of changes, and I can pick up on that since I've been part of A3K for so long, and so I know that wasn't a joke. Okay, I know it wasn't a joke. That's why I answered it. Cody, on the other hand, was on the other end. So
because I'm giving Sean Russell credit in my mind. I'm thinking that must have been a joke, truly and surely it was. So I assumed and went with it. Apparently, I overestimated you.
No, because here's the thing: there's a lot of American properties that silently steal from Japanese properties, and I wouldn't hold it against the creators of I Am Legend, unless that's is that a book based off of somebody off of like a famous author?
It's a book, yeah.
Oh, that's why you said
you illiterate bastard.
But the next one, I guess I'll take it is Togashi, and I would create a pound. I said pound. Oh, don't kill me, Twitterverse. Don't kill me. I said pound instead of hashtag. Oh Lord. Oh gosh. There's Snugglepuss again. Hashtag the guild manga, and the guild. We definitely support the guild here at Anime 3000, and that's at errormage_typo with a 0. And Togashi is the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho, and of course the great Hunter. And then next, wrapping this up because this has been a long segment. We have either Mashima or Oda Mashima. Who's that again?
Where was he from? I think he's an older mangaka. Hold on really quick.
And that's John Dragonell. John D. Dragonell _ And Oda, of course, is the creator the creator of Zombie Powder.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's One Piece Man. He said,
no, Zombie Powder is the one who created Bleach.
Tai Kubo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sean Russell been on that sticky icky again. He's
No,
been scissor.
Who's Mashima?
Hiro Mashima is the creator of the fantasy manga Rave, and he's also known for a lot of one-shots and Monster Soul, but he's mostly well-known for Fairy Tail. Duh.
Oh!
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Fairy Tail. Who watches that crap? I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I have the manga,
Lord.
so...
I'm joking. I like Fairy Tail.
I think they're going to sue somebody. Oh, that's just Fairy Tail.
Yeah. See, I told you, I'm not really good with names. I'm not good with names, but I know the manga, though. I'm just not good with names at all. Sorry, dude.
And then next we have Takehiko Inoue and Naoki. How do you say his first name? Naoki Urasawa. I know Urasawa, but Naoki?
Naoki?
Oh gosh, we're gonna lose like so many listeners because I'm butchering these names.
Okay.
Urasawa, he's one of my.
Takehiko Inoue and Naoki Urasawa.
Urasawa.
That's easier.
Urasawa is awesome.
Urasawa.
Yeah, he created Monster. So
he also created Bat Boy.
He is good people, and it's old
good
Pluto.
people, like we know him. He's good people.
No, he's good. He's good. I met him at a convention. He was like, "Hey, Sean, I like your podcast." I'm like, "You're sour. You're awesome. You make
Let's go drink a beer."
Yeah, let's drink some sake. He's like, "Oh, you know sake. You're awesome." And that never happened.
But Takehiko Inoue, he did Slam Dunk and Vagabond and Real. Real is very good, actually. I mean, I know people know Slam Dunk and maybe some people know Vagabond, but Real is very good. It has really good dialogue in it, actually. So
I heard it's fake.
Ooh, the gay fake?
What?
You guys do not read manga at all. Okay. Fake is a really famous 1990s area, 80s manga and anime about these gay detectives from New York.
Gay detective. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Actually, it's a really good series. Actually, I read the whole thing, so it's really awesome.
I found the clue. Oh my god, I just realized it's the Hardley Boys from South Park. Okay, I've got a raging clue right now.
And that's from Eric Isn't Punk. Eric Isn't Punk. Eric Isn't Punk.
Well, good.
Is it?
I was going to assume Eric was punk, but now that he's cleared that up beforehand.
No, Eric isn't punk.
What else was that? I'm
emo. And that takes us to our third and final topic. And is news and hot topics. Our first news is there's a new Durarara anime.
Wait, you have to say it the Japanese way. Do la la la.
Oh,
do the la 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 la.
Yeah, Japanese people can't say R's, really. Seriously.
Wow. Was that against the law?
No, actually, it's just their phonetic system. They have R's, but they sound like L's.
So it's Rupon the third.
Well, really, it would be say. Isn't it that they can't say L because they just have one sound that's just kind of a single roll of the tongue?
No, they can't differentiate between L and R. And then they don't have an L in Japanese, but they have R, so they use R to replace L. Does that make any sense?
So they say do la 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 la, coming next on No Tomida. Do la 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 la.
Okay, Sean Russell. If we said your name in Japanese, it would be
Sean
Lasso.
Lasso.
Seriously, I have my kids are like this, so I'm just like, oh, I didn't know this is real.
So they say, so he's killing?
Yeah,
what?
Like they'll probably say Kurin like that, but but
it's Kurin. Thank you very much.
Led Labin. Yum.
So if you go to Japan, you will meet a lot of people who will confuse you. Instead of saying Hollywood, they will say horror.
But don't they hear people saying Hollywood? So in their brain they hear Hollywood. They hear, oh, it's L. That doesn't work.
That's me. Japanese person L, they don't know it's L. They'll say they put R. They write it as R, but it sounds like L.
So are they dumb because it's a clear difference?
They're dumb because they don't do it the way we do.
Because that's not even correct. Like you're saying, it's two completely different letters. That's not even the way we do it. That's just fucking it up, flat out. I mean, it's like
okay. I'm gonna say this as an English teacher in Japan. Okay, the phonetics here is different, Cody. So please don't be so ethnocentric. And
it's like we can't comprehend the sound in Arabic and Jewish languages. Like we know it's there. I mean, it's kind of been sort of phased out a little bit because
That's a good point, JD. You can't argue that.
It's closer to, an H sound because it's very awkward just in English speaking to say Hanukkah. But like we still know it's there. We can comprehend the idea of the.
It's like someone's saying it's Hanukkah, and then we go, Chocolate?
Okay.
What's that?
You mean chocolate? That's the way I say it. Chocolate.
Everyone here studies English, but you know what? When they want to try to speak English, they always put katakana or the Japanese foreign writing system into place. So even if you put your name, Sean Russell, in the Japanese writing to make it sound like Sean Russell, they're going to pronounce it just like they would for any other Japanese thing. Sean Russell.
Oh, but if they hear it, they'll say Sean Russell.
Yeah.
No, they won't. I tried this. This is phonetics. They don't have very good phonetics in English in Japan. Okay? They can do Sean. They're going to do Sean, and then Russell. That's what they're going to do.
See, that's even. First of all, what about all these Japanese people that actually manage to do L's? Are they freaks? Do they have superpowers? That's number one. Number two, again, going back to the thing, we may not have a letter in English for, but we still hear, comprehend, understand, and could say, watch this.
Okay.
I just did.
What about Spanish in schools in America? Like if people want to put O's on all the English words, even though to make it sound like it's Spanish, like town O. No.
That's not what we do, JD. Those are called jokes. People actually do that.
People actually do that. People actually do that. I mean, I'm from California. People actually do this.
Because they hate Mexicans.
That is a joke people do when they don't actually know how to speak Spanish. I've been away from America for a while, but that's not actually a thing. Like, oh, you're Spanish, right? Where?
Telefono.
The telefono. I don't know.
No, people do this. I'm from California. People do this sometimes in California, and it's really stupid, I think, but I mean, in Japan, people also do this. They add their own phonetics to English words to make it sound Japanese because they can't pronounce English words. They're comfortable. They cannot stray from Japanese because it's not their. I mean, English is not their main language. So, they're just like, this is too scary. I'm going to go back to my Japanese pronunciation. It's true.
First of all, all the implications and, oh my God, this other language is so scary. But second of all, if they can't get it right, why in the fuck do they keep using it so much? You don't see, the people here that, you can't speak Spanish just throwing in random Spanish words. Sometimes they do, but those are called shitty pop stars. Throwing in random Spanish words into their songs, or all of a sudden you'll have a cool rock song, and all of a sudden it's like, yo soy hablo inglés! That happened here. That happens all the time up there. There are entire websites dedicated to how often the Japanese speak English and how often they fuck it up at the same time. So if they're going to use it so damn much, they'd at least not fuck it up. And
that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because one, English education in Japan is kind of young compared to other countries. Like you look at China, they've been interacting with a lot of foreigners for hundreds of years. You look at Japan, their English education is only about 20 to 30 years old. Compare that to China's English education. That's and then also Japan's culture itself is very, very, like I told you earlier, it's all about sameness. So then when you have to teach them this new weird language that is completely different from Japanese, of course they're gonna put a wall up. Even though they're learning it, they're gonna put a wall up
and keep using it. They're not keeping it at a distance because it's everywhere. It's in every other Japanese song. They'll just bust out an English word.
They think it's cool. That's why. But other than that, it's still at a distance. Okay, I mean, I've been here for 4 years. I would know. Okay, I teach English here. I would know.
And I'm saying, from an objective outsider point of view, if you're going to keep using the damn thing, learn how to use the damn thing.
If you're gonna live in our country, learn to speak our language.
I'm not saying to live in our country, speak our language, but if you're going to use our language, stop fucking it up because you look like a fool. That's like, you know what that is? I'll tell you exactly what that is. Do either of you two watch King of the Hill?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
You know how Peggy would keep speaking Spanish but fuck it up all the time and it would be funny and she'd look like an idiot?
Uh-huh.
It's exactly the same thing. Because they keep using it and they
probably and to close this out, they probably say the same thing about Americans that try to speak Japanese. So what's fair is fair.
But so do the Americans say that about the Americans that try to speak Japanese. We call them weeaboos.
And maybe the Japanese say that about the Japanese that try to speak English.
It's a whole different.
But they don't.
It's a whole different thing here, actually. Japanese people who speak English, let's say two people, they know they're both English teachers or something, and they speak English fluently, and they're Japanese. They won't speak English to each other. If they do, then people will ask them, "Oh, you speak English?" And they're like, "No, I don't," but they do. It's kind of like this scared of being different. So even if they do speak English, in Japanese society, it's seen not as a good thing to be different. Yeah, it's really strange.
I'm just saying, that's fucked up. I'm saying some things, Japan, you might need a punk movement. I think you need a punk movement.
And speaking of punk movements, I'm going to stray away from this new Durarara anime, which we didn't give any details about, but that's okay.
I want to say real quick, hooray, because Durarara is from the same author who did Baccano, and Baccano is fucking excellent. And I have not seen Durarara. I want to. I had a chance to, and I missed it, but I'm going to at some point, because Baccano was extremely fucking good. I've heard nothing but good things about Durarara. and from whose opinions I trust. And now there's more.
Durara kind of falls apart towards the end, but overall, it is better than most of the crap that's out there. But it's definitely no Baccano. Going back to our earlier discussion in this episode, Baccano is one of those series. If you don't like it, you are a horrible person.
Exactly. Thank you, Sean Russell. There's just so many brofists coming your way.
I'm collecting them, putting them away for another day.
In case
we have our next story, and I put this in there because I'm always on the lookout for good manga that's going to be adapted into an anime series, and I figured JD might be familiar with this. Hopefully she isn't. If not, we're going to quickly skip over this. Tokyo Ghoul is going to be getting an anime this summer. Any familiarity with this? Any of you?
No.
Yeah. I've seen it around actually, and it's actually about it's actually a seinen manga from Young Jump, I think. It's weird, another Jump thing. But it's about these creatures who are called ghouls, and they look human, but they have to eat human flesh to survive. So they're kind of like half ghoul, half human kind of thing, or I don't know. Like the main character is half ghoul, half human actually, and it's really it's actually kind of not super famous here actually, but it has its own following. So I really
do you think it'll be successful over here in the States?
Well, I think it could be because a lot of people in the States like zombie-ish kind of things right now, and so I think it could get a bigger following in the United States. I think so.
All right, cool. And our next story is a series that actually has a decent following here in the United States, and that's the new Psycho Pass. And this is actually going to be a reimagining of the current series from what I've read, as well as new episodes and a movie, I believe, as well. So it looks like they're getting the full treatment. And this series is just recently was released from Funimation. And
people should go buy it.
Have you seen the whole series, Cody?
I have not, but I'm going to. And a lot of people, again, whose opinions I trust quite a bit, have said nothing but good things. And this is sort of the example of sort of a principle that we've learned at the other side and amongst the people that I talk to, that Gen Urobuchi comes up with good ideas, but he is one of the worst storytellers alive. And Psycho Pass is a nice mesh where they take Gen Urobuchi's ideas, but then tell him to shut the hell up when he comes up with a stupid idea. Like, if anybody wants to see why Gen Urobuchi is one of the worst storytellers alive, look at Saya no Uda and Madoka Magica. And if anyone's going to chime up, I like those things, don't. But Psycho Pass is like, okay, Gen, come up with an idea. Like, okay, here's ideas. Okay, that last one, really stupid. We're not going to use that. And Psycho Pass is the result of that. And why that this is what should happen all the time. That whenever Gen Urobuchi wants to involve himself in something, the studio should go, hold on. Okay, we'll give you your show, but we're going to hire this guy. He's just going to kind of keep you on a leash. And a physical leash. Like, he should
just sprays him with water in the face.
Yeah. Like, okay, now, like, because Gen Urobuchi, he has literally said the only way he knows how to do character development is to make the people be sad and bad things happen to them. So, like, they'll be in the writer's room, and everyone's like, okay, we have a female character. How do we develop her character from the way it starts in episode 1? And Gen just stands up. Let's have her get raped! And then the guy just, no, Gen, down, Gen. Down, Gen. Here, have a cookie. Just eat the cookie and shut up.
So that's a new Psycho Pass, and we'll put links in the show notes so you can look at that, the news, which is probably old by now. Next we have Fujiko Mine. Fujiko Mine from Rupon the Third.
Lupin the Third, another thing where if you don't like it, bad person. Lupin. Main Lupin.
Hey, Shigara.
Main Lupin, because there's some stuff, like, a couple movies and a little thing called Cagliostro. They suck. Some things, fuck up Lupin. But, in general, and especially...
You're saying Hayao Miyazaki sucks?
I have been saying that since day one.
No!
Hayao Miyazaki is a hack. I've been saying that since day one. We had a whole episode of the episode. And God, was I so pleasantly surprised when we released that episode. I was expecting a shitstorm. We got a lot of people saying, hey, you guys are right. What the hell? So that's probably one of my favorite accomplishments of the other side, that we helped a lot of people realize that, wow, Hayao Miyazaki's really not that good. But that aside, I am also bitter as a Lupin fan because it was basically the movie was like an adapted fan fiction where there's this literally a scene where Lupin goes, "I used to be stupid," and then it's how Lupin was. Like, no, you weren't. We liked you then. No wonder the original creator of Lupin hates that movie. But yes, the Lupin. If no one has read the Lupin manga, actually, I think it is adapted in America. I have a volume. It is really, 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 really good. And
yeah, it's awesome.
It's fantastic. And a couple movies good. I've heard a lot of good things about the woman called Fujiko Mine. I think it was called. It's like a little series.
Mm-hmm. And this is what the spinoff is. This is the movie is coming from this timeline, correct?
Yeah, the series. It's like I think it's a semi prequel. Like she knows Lupin, but she's not fucking with him as much as she does later. It's really cool, super stylish, and it's from the director of Michiko and Hatchin. I don't know if the movie is, but the series was. And Michiko and Hatchin, just from what I've seen and what I know of it, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see it. I'm salivating, waiting for that English release. Michiko and Hatchin looks like nothing but greatness,
They haven't released a DVD yet?
No, it's have they? If it's come out yet, let me know.
Well, the dub is available on Funimation on the Funimation website. I've watched it.
Then it must be out. I didn't know. I'm upset. No one told me. I'm gonna be smacking bitches up. Because I've been waiting for that shit. I've been waiting for that shit for years. Come on. Producer Shinichiro Watanabe, I don't think that man has ever involved himself in anything that wasn't greatness.
And speaking of something that Shinichiro Watanabe is involving himself in, skipping over my next story just because that was a perfect segue, he's going to be reuniting with Yoko Kanno on a brand new show that's going to be coming out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it? No, wait.
You're beyond words.
There's new. Wait, is this More Kids on the Slope?
No, my friend. No, my friend. This is about a terrorist that is terrorizing Japan, and it's called, if I'm not mistaken, Terror in Tokyo. And are you okay? Are you
I need a minute.
Just breathe. Take deep breaths. Okay, you good? And it has Samurai Champloo's character designer.
Yes, I love those characters.
So yeah, this is going to be coming out. They even have a preview of it. Just click the link in the email I gave you, and I'm going to go on to another story.
You go on this story. I'm going to go in the corner and masturbate.
Yeah.
I'm done by the time you're done.
Yeah, I'll let Cody.
You better wash your hands.
Yeah. No more brofist, dude.
And you're not going to pocket them either, Sean.
No more platonic hugs either.
Pat you on the back and rub it, give you a little back rub.
It's like, what's this? Ew.
Don't touch me. How about that? Just bow like in Japan. How about that? The head
That's
nod.
one thing I love about Japan.
Just a bunch of prudes who are afraid of your own sexuality and you disgust me.
No, I'm afraid of your sexuality touching me.
Yeah.
You should be.
Well, we touched on that. So, whoa.
Whoa. I hope not.
Whoa, I caught that one. Whoa, no, I'm kidding. Space Adventure Cobra is going to be on Hulu.
It's old school.
It's old school. And I didn't know what Space Adventure Cobra was, so that I read like a little synopsis in the story, and it seemed like a pretty cool, interesting story. How many just make it down there?
I want to check it out someday. It seemed cool, but there's also that pensiveness, like it's going to be old and probably dated in some ways, and maybe it didn't age well. I don't like having my time wasted, so I'm curious.
I don't like main characters with a perm.
No, I'm
kidding.
Considering now what we got, where it's spiky hair, I'd go for a perm.
All I know is he has like a gun on his arm. What I heard about it is that, and people are gonna be like, "You idiot, Space Adventure Cobra the boy." I'm gonna say, "Shut up." It's about a guy who. It reminds me of what's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Terminator?
No, the other one where he goes.
Total Recall?
Yeah, there you go. You see, you knew exactly what I was talking about. Where he goes in and he wants to have an adventure, so they put him in the simulation, and it turns out to be real or some crap like that. I don't know if that was a spoiler, but something to that effect. And he's a space adventurer, and his name is Cobra, I'm assuming. But it sounds very 80s, but it's one of those things I just want to have in the back of my mind. It's like it's like there's a guidebook on being an anime fan. And Space Adventure Cobra is something you just have to have experienced, just so you could say you've experienced it. Just like that in Space Battleship Yamato. Like, you kind of have to just watch it, even if it's just a little bit of it, just so you don't sound like you don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah. That's on Hulu, so you can check that out. Hulu's actually becoming pretty cool for anime.
Yeah.
Didn't
really
know.
Cool.
And then the final bit of news before we start to bring this podcast to a close, the Tokyo Anime Award Festival has announced a few winners, and the big winners for this festival include The Wind Rises, which is, I'm sure Cody would like to say, luckily, Hayao Miyazaki's final film.
I know. But of course he had to go out with a bang. I mean, there's some controversy about fucking him glorifying people that shouldn't be glorified in that movie. I ain't gonna get into it, but I guess who are we gonna go for quote-unquote amazing movies about flying sequences in nature and little girls? I'm a feminist, but I made my wife give up her career so I can make cartoons. Oh, fucking. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you can villainize him, but there's a lot of people who
and
done
I do.
No, I know, and I will.
It's a hobby. It's like something I do on the weekends.
And you want to know what the runner-up was for Best Animation Film of the Year?
Oh, no.
Madoka Magica, the movie Part 3.
So I'm going to go on a limb and assume the committee that votes on this suffered like some head trauma early in life, maybe like either dropped their heads as a child or.
But have you seen it, Cody? They kind of they listened to your podcast and they made all the corrections to make the podcast. Actually, Gen Yorobuchi actually said, "Hey, you know what? I'm an idiot, and Cody doesn't like my stuff, so let me go ahead and make something that he'll like."
The only thing that could have fixed that is to incorporate the Tanbo nurse canon the other side came up with. And if anyone knows what doesn't know what I'm talking about, go listen to our episode, The Other Side Fixed Anime, because we came up with a canon that turns all bad anime great. And the only way they could have fixed that is to incorporate that some way, because Madoka Magica is so beyond saving. It is. For that final episode alone should have earned someone a kick in the nuts. Like America's Funniest Home Videos should have just been reenacted in the series' entirety inside that studio. Just nut shots and talking dogs with Bob Saget's voice, and just Adam for that fucking show.
Wow, that was like a huge throwback. You said Bob Saget.
I know.
Like, there's a whole generation of people who don't know Bob Saget was the host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, that just really aged us, didn't it, Sean?
There's a whole generation of people who don't know who Bob Saget is.
I don't mind referencing the fact that I'm a fucking adult.
Yeah, from the cool age.
The Kool-Aid. And then the Best Television Show, which kind of pissed me off, even though I liked the show, the runner-up made me pissed that it was the runner-up, but I think they've won like 17 years in a row, even though it's only been out for 2. Attack on Titan won for Best Television Show.
And Best Director.
And the runner-up was Space Brothers, which... bastards. I think they won last year.
Well, you know what, though? It was a runner-up. It wasn't like the runner-up was I, me, my, by, lo, la, love, the boobs in your face, pick your favorite fantasy girlfriend bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. It was a runner-up, and I think that it's for our ongoing series. I guess that's a big accomplishment. And Best Director, Tetsuro Araki, he was from Attack on Titan as well.
Someone name Araki just screams greatness.
And Best Screenplay and Original Work, Yasuko Kobayashi, Attack on Titan. No, did he do that? Did he do all of those?
Attack on Titan, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
He didn't do the original manga, but he did like the adaptations. So
all right.
This guy knows how to pick shows to get on board with, because fucking Attack on Titan and JoJo. No wonder he won.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. And Hayao Miyazaki for The Wind Rises.
Just kind of looking at you like, yep, I'm coasting on name recognition.
He's like, yep, I'm in this fucking anime category.
I hate iPods because I'm a fucking grandpa stereotype.
He's like, I hate everybody that's not me.
That's the funny part.
And Ryoko Yoshida from Girls und Panzer and others.
Really? Girls in No, that ruins credibility. You wrote anybody. Girls in No, I can't even name. I can't finish the title. It's such a bad show. No.
And best character design, mecha design, Sushio.
Category.
Sorry? Yeah.
Damn it, why is that the same category?
Sushio, that sounds familiar. What did he do?
He's a delicious raw fish.
Oh, Sushio.
No, that's sushi, dude.
Isn't a Sushio like a bad name in Spanish?
Susu Studio?
Sushio, whatever. That's me doing a Japanese Spanish person. I'm sorry. No, I'm trying to figure out what he did.
He did Berserk, the key animation for Berserk, and Digimon, Evangelion.
He's in like the key animation for everything. Like when I see key animator, I just like totally just write him off and say that's not Kill la Kill. Oh fuck.
Ooh,
that's a trigger for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's funny. Trigger warning. If it's not Inferno Cop, don't watch it. That's too good.
Our Magical Witch Academia or wherever it's called.
Yeah, well that might be good. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's different from what they've done. It's more of just like
it's not retarded.
Yeah, it's a show for kids.
That's different than what they've done.
Yeah, definitely. Considering Kill la Kill is a show for people who like rape suits. Ayo!
It's a fucking terrible show. We did it. I don't even need to say anything because we did a whole podcast on it and it was definitive. I'd say.
I actually want to give Kill la Kill a second chance.
No,
because...
it gets worse. There's incest, molestation, and
the only reason I say that is because I feel like I'm just like jumping on the bandwagon of hate for Kill la Kill. Like I didn't like the series, but the amount of vitriol that I have for this show is unwarranted because I don't really feel that strongly about it. So I want to at least watch a little bit more than I did, so I can actually feel warranted in the way I feel about the series. But moving on, we have Aim for the Top 2 and Gunbuster. I think he did that for 2 or to make a 1, whatever. Best Animator, Kitaro Koisoka.
Yeah, Ghibli comes out with a new movie. You have to suck the studio's collective dick. So, of course, guy did The Wind Rises wins Best Animator, of course.
Okay, let's do this. Wind Rises wins for Best Animator, Best Art Direction, Best Voice Actor, Actress.
No, can we talk about voice? No, this is how bad. This is
how kind of incestuous.
Yeah, this is how bad. This is how much Ghibli's dick is being sucked, just unwarrantedly. Best Actor, Hideaki Anno.
Yeah, that Hideaki Anno.
Yeah, no. I don't even know that much about Seiyu, but Evangelion, don't. That's that.
He did do his or her Circumstance, and I like that.
No, I'm gonna do it, but it's a romance anime for people that have never known a woman. The point is, Hideaki Anno is terrible. He lost it at like after the first third of Evangelion. He was really good. He did Nadia, that was great. Then Evangelion sucked, and then you're gonna try to tell me he's an actor? No, I don't fucking care if he fucking oh my god, he's overacting bullshit. No, he won because he's Hideaki Anno in a Studio Ghibli film, and that is it. That is it. You would have to show me some hard evidence to convince me of anything else. This is some bullshit awards right here. This is more bullshit than the fucking Oscars. Okay, maybe not quite as bullshit as the Oscars, but it's close. It's Oscar caliber bullshit.
Best music, we have Hiroyuki Sawano from Guilty Crown, Attack on Titan, and others. And then the Anime Fan Award is Danboro Senki Wars, which I'm not sure what the hell that means.
Oh, it means Little Battlers Experience.
No, I'm saying what Anime Fan Award means.
Oh, it's probably what some fans, they probably pulled some fans or some regular people to do.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon collect 'em and fight 'em show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, this is kind of the worst awards.
But you know what? It's because Miyazaki is retiring, and usually, this kind of thing usually happens when you have this big hotshot come in,
Bullshit,
and
he'll be
then
back.
he's retiring, and they're like, "Well, it's his last one, so let's give him something." Yeah, that usually
He'll be back.
happens.
He pulled this shit before. He's gonna retire, and then someone's gonna come up and say, "This is gonna be the next Miyazaki." And because this guy's got an ego at the ass, he's like, "No one's allowed to take my thunder," and he's gonna come back. Ooh, Miyazaki's big return.
No.
And that's
I
usually
don't think he's gonna come back.
his son.
Yeah,
I
remember
don't think he's gonna. I
he was
don't
like
think he's gonna come back.
when his son was getting into movies, and he was being a dick to him because he thought he was going to be threatened, but then his son's movie became tepid, so he decided, oh, now I'll talk to my son. Oh, now, my son's going to come out with a movie? Oh, well, I better fucking start making shit because he might steal my thunder.
No. Goro Miyazaki, no. He doesn't have what it takes. I don't think so.
It doesn't matter if he has what it takes. I'm talking about before his first movie came out. It was a fucking, like Miyazaki was just, like, done, and I don't even know if it was the Goro Miyazaki thing, but he did this before where he's like, oh, I'm retiring, I'm done. And then, like, someone was
I think he was retiring with that one with that clown in a tree. What's that called again?
Clown in the tree.
What clown in the tree?
In a pogo stick?
Oh, Ponyo?
No, there's like a tree that was moving around, and there's a clown, and there's wind blowing in.
Well, he's wind blowing. It's Miyazaki. That doesn't say.
What the hell was that movie called?
I'm sure the clown bounced so high in the pogo stick that he was flying, and we got a downward angle view to see everything below him.
Now I gotta look up this. What the hell was that freaking movie called? You don't know it?
Either way,
I don't know
he pulled this bullshit before. This is what he does. This is his fucking ego, big-headed shit. I guarantee, like, it might be a while this time because he's making more of a big deal.
Howl's Moving Castle.
That was
I don't remember.
That's far removed from what I would think of with Howl's Moving Castle. The clown and the pogo stick.
Yeah, there's a guy, like a clownish-looking guy, and he's
You would think the castle that moves,
And he was junking in a tree was the castle, and he was like, I'm a clown.
That's what Howl's Moving Castle is.
That's what I took.
It's a weird animated art film. It's a clown and pogo stick. I'm a clown. Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, but he'll be back. Someone else will there'll be another big director. Probably someone in Ghibli will be up and coming, and he'll be like, "Nuh-uh, it's not allowed," and he'll come back. Bet money.
I don't think he'll come back.
And then he'll come back to tell us all how bad we are for using iPods and driving cars.
And no, I can't do it. So that brings us to the end of the podcast, and hopefully you learned something new about your favorite anime mangaka, or that's actually not your favorite mangaka or anime director, or someone that you thought you liked until Cody told you you were a fool for liking them, and now you...
Hey, I'm here to help. I'm just here to help. I'm here to, I don't want you all to go out and hey, Madoka Magic is pretty great, and then you get a pie in your face. I'm here to help you.
Wait, did you say you're here to help, or you're from hell? Which one?
Ooh.
Well, first of all, that was a terrible burn.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen to you right now. So
I'm shaking my head. I'm just jaded. Look, we'll schedule some lessons. I'll teach you how to burn, and we'll give you some classes. But I'm here to help because that way, you don't going around wasting your time, or even people that maybe you don't know better. You're like, oh, all I've ever seen is fucking Naruto. Ah, I got you. And fucking.
No, don't even mention Naruto to me.
No, guys, let's just stay off that.
All I ever watched is Madoka Magica and harem shit.
Hell no. Anything with magic in it, I do not want to watch it.
It's like, no, friend, that's crap. Don't go there. There's good stuff over here. Let me introduce you to a fellow named Joseph Joestar. He's going to show you what's up.
And back to JoJo's.
You might like this, Cody. Actually, in Okinawa, and one of the main souvenir streets or whatever, they actually have a JoJo. I don't know. I forgot what his name was. See, I'm really bad at names. But they have a character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and you can take pictures, and you can pretend you're punching him out. It's a full 3D JoJo character just sitting down in the middle of some store, and you can just go take pictures with it.
That's kind of amazing. See, to Japan's credit, they recognize greatness when they see it. Sometimes.
And they have Batman, and they have Hulk, and they have some weird punk-looking guy in there too, and some Yankee characters that you can take pictures with, and they're all 3D.
JoJo's one of the biggest manga that ever was, pretty much over there. I mean, we all remember the viral video of those Japanese office workers. They all got in front of their building and reenacted the ora 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 muda 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 thing. And
trust me, that happens every year. Japanese people love taking some really stupid J-pop song and like doing some kind of stupid dance that just looks like some mouse or a cat doing something, and they just like to do it together, and they film it, and then they edit it, and they show it to whatever graduation ceremony, entrance ceremony, whatever.
One day we were like, let's not do a stupid video this year. Let's pay tribute to something amazing, and then they decided to do ora 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 muda muda muda.
Trust me, this happens a lot here. And it's kind of second nature now, so it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna ask me to do a dance or something. Okay, I don't really want to do it, but I guess I have to.
now everybody report to the mandatory pizza party.
No pizza party, because pizza kind of sucks here.
All right, and I don't know where to go from there with that, but going towards the close of the show. Cody, what do you have on the horizon? What's new with you? What can people expect? And give us all the deets.
Well, again, we still have our backlog to go through. So, but as of this recording, there's it'll probably have already gone up, the autism episode, and then the spring season episode. And then we are currently, God help us, reading Terra for Mars to do an episode on it. Again, probably the most racist shit ever put to manga page. If you haven't heard of it, cockroach people, they're obviously... I can't even call them black people because that's an insult to black people to say that these cockroach aliens are supposed to be black people. It is the most racist shit. It's insane. We will hear all about it when we do the episode, but it's hard to get through. It's so fucking stupid. And we'll do an episode on that. And then we're planning on doing another episode on terrible webcomics and the crazy people that write them, including Get Hype people. We're going to be talking about Jack, the furry comic with the rape, and we're going to talk about Dave Hopkins and all his mental issues. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun on the bun.
And where can people find you on Twitter?
At Lord Schmickie, LordShmickie.
And JD, what's the haps?
Well, I'm still waiting for that episode to come out this month, but sorry, but basically, right now I'm kind of working on a project and the website probably won't be available this week or next week, but in the future, I guess. I'm trying to start a anime club website it's basically a help website for anime clubs and people who have, those kind of clubs or Japanese clubs or whatever. And it's just to help them how to start a club at their schools or in the community, how to get fundraising and, do fundraising and get money for it, how to pretty much do anything when it comes down to having a club that's anime, manga, or Japanese related, or Japan related. So it's just a help center. So I'm working on that right now, and I'm going to be releasing a book this year too about it. Mm-hmm. So, but basically just reading manga other than that.
All right. And as far as myself, I'm getting back into producing shows. Obviously, this whole site hiccup has kind of put me behind, but looking to put out the A3K radio pretty soon. Just booked an interesting interview with Stu Levy from Tokyo Pop, so hopefully that will happen. And
what, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, wait. Is he in Japan still, or did he go back?
He's actually traveling all around right now. Last I checked, he was like in Manila or something like that. But first time speaking to him. I've always wanted to speak with him. So short of him canceling or something happening, that should be wrapped up.
Ask him what it's like for his name to be a delicious dish.
I mean, that was the first time he heard that.
It's time we ask the real questions.
From all of us here at A3K Podcast, or at the A3K Podcast. I always had trouble how to say that. Cody, Baier, and JD Banks, and of course me, Sean Russell. I want to thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Be Cloud Scratcher.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the A3K Network. Visit our website at anime3000.com to find even more content from the producers of this show. Be sure to share your thoughts about this episode by leaving some feedback in our comments section. Want to be featured on a future episode? Send your questions to contact@anime3000.com and address it to the podcast of your choice. You can even leave a voicemail at 954-780-6201. That's 954-780-6201. And as always, thank you for being you.